Central 815 with stop Riley and Plank. Michigan, David Henry Paul 6001 on Pontiac.
Hey, Doris.
Grand M, orange in color.
Okay.
Bus line up here. I'm trying to. Oh no, it's hazards. I thought he was trying to get back in traffic.
$50.82 copy. Check will be.
She's not paying attention. So I'm going.
Central to 5882. Copy. Check will
Ye
be.
Bangry.
Go on.
Smith and Secor. Smith and Secor. It's going to be the westbound on the south side of Smith. There is a female walking. The white female. She's wearing black and pink yoga pants.
Clear.
Central 61.
61.
Clear the scene en route to the south. Upwards of progress.
6. AC1 security. Of course.
Children.
602.
Yes, ma'am. Show me out of service. Yes, have a good night.
Thank you, sir. You too.
Section 32. I'll be at the office.
Clear.
10 1568 to clear line type.
Okay.
Hey, Dirty. How was Lupper? I'm heading there now. If I ever make it there, it's fucking train. Does this new phone look a lot better than that other crappy phone I was doing the road streams with? Thank you. Where the fuck is it? None of my streams working today. The ones I normally watch, none of them are up. Alright, one. Let's let one at a time, guys.
And we're getting ready for it. We got a lot of stuff that is getting filed, and we got to go through some of this to see what the heck is going on. This, of course, is involving Michael Cohen and this whole Stormy Daniels hush money saga. Totally ridiculous case, but they have accelerated this because this is really their last gasp to get a conviction before the election starts. We know the J6 case is going to be up in the air. We're going to talk about that in the second segment. But we've got the Florida classified documents case that's getting postponed. Fannie and Wade are just all in.
Oh, I just got a text from Nikki Haley
down there in Georgia, and so they've accelerated this one. All their eggs are now going into this basket, and they're going to try to get a conviction here very soon. And so,
let me see what it says.
For them. They're
Hi, it's Nikki Haley.
Get something here, so we got to get up to speed on what's happening. And of course, it's Michael Cohen. He's back. The convicted
Hi, it's
the liar.
It's Nikki Haley. Before you exit this, they have my name. Please take 30 seconds to read this important message.
Is Donald Trump and his defense, they're submitting what they're calling, what we call motions in limine. These are preliminary motions.
Bird brain Nikki.
That are meant to frame out the trial, to say we want to be precluded from the government talking about this, or the government will say the defense shouldn't be allowed to talk about this. We're trying to define the terms of the trial before the trial starts, so that we don't have a bunch of the stuff that we have to hash through in the middle of trial while the jury's sitting right there. So Trump filed a monster motion. There's a bunch in it, but we're just going to focus on the.
So I got to say that
PDF will be available.
The poll election official training that I did was pretty interesting yesterday. I didn't talk about it on my desktop stream. I should have. I was busy as fuck though. Pretty interesting.
We've seen a pattern in New York where they just don't really care about anything as long as it's anti-Trump. They'll to let Tish do whatever she wants. E. Jean Carroll and Judge Kaplan can do whatever they want. And so now we're going to see now in the criminal realm what's happening there in New York. So this is going to be a very problematic.
You can tell Ohio's working really hard to make sure that
going to be starting March
there isn't any cheating.
And we're going to get up to speed on that today.
The procedures that we got to go through. It's ridiculous,
the Supreme
but
Court is now going to be accepting the
I guess they get paid to do it too. So I
decide on immunity. And we're very excited about that because
took the day off.
Believe they're going to find that there is presidential immunity. Now, how far that extends, or whether they establish a new test for us, or whether they say, official immunity starts and ends here, whatever, is yet to be seen. But I don't think they're able to even do that under Marbury. We'll save that for later. But SCOTUS accepts the case, and they're going to be issuing.
Oh, damn!
We're going to go through the timeline.
That dude punched it.
About what this means for the J6 case.
He's like, I'm in a hurry, motherfuckers.
Andrew Weissman, Trump prosecutor, he came out, man, it's like depression.
It's well, it's for primary initially.
And he's like, man, the J6 case is on life support, man. And I think he's right.
We don't do ours till I think Super Tuesday or right around that. It's like March.
So we'll see what Lisa Newman says over at MSNBC. There's some meltdowns all over the place.
16th or 17th or something like that.
She is totally illogical. It doesn't even make sense. She says, well, if Trump has immunity, then he's never going to leave. Because he knows if he leaves, then he'll be charged with a crime. So maybe we'll go through that. I'll make sure I go through that. But this guy, Eli, is still freaking out. We have to stop SCOTUS. Why? Because we have some due process that's happening there. And Judge Ludwig says there's no reason to take it at all. But the problem is, back in reality land, this has been crazy. This whole prosecution has been nuts. These types of cases can often take years to develop, especially going up to the Supreme Court for crying out loud. And so this guy, great post, Dylan Esper, he's a litigator out, I believe, in San Diego or in Southern California. And so he wrote this nice piece out. He says, even if I don't like Trump, like there's a bunch of whack jobs who are saying that this is really hurrying, or Trump is just trying to delay this and all this stuff. It's nuts how quickly we've gone from an indictment to the Supreme Court has been rapid fire pace, all because it's operating against Trump. So we'll get into that here in a bit. But a lot of meltdowns. We'll see what they're talking about on some of the left-wing media sites. And then we had this story, Fani Willis, apparently she was ranking judges in Fulton County by their skin color, which to me feels very racist, but I think it's okay if you do anything for Fani Willis, because she can just do whatever she wants all the time without any consequences. And I know, because she's the biggest fan in Georgia. Apparently there was actually some training on this. You see, there was this TV screen, they rolled it out for the prosecutors during one of their trainings. Like, remember when you were in 7th grade and the teacher would be like, it's movie day, because they had a hangover or whatever, they come bring that out. Same thing happened here for the prosecutors, who are not far off from 8-year-olds, and they showed them the TV as well. So, here you go, prosecutors, watch this movie. And so they put that out there, and apparently it's talking about why black male judges are the best. Right? So we'll talk about that. It's a very strange thing for Fani to be talking about judges that are more lenient on their people who they're prosecuting. It's very strange. These certain judges, she ranks them. Okay, so find out where you are depending on your gender and your race. Fani's going to put us in a little hierarchy here. So stay tuned to find out where you would be if you were a judge. And so we'll go through that. Now we know that Scott McAfee, I'm pretty sure, is a white male. So we're going to learn where she thinks he falls in this judicial racial hierarchy from Fulton County. Now there was also apparently some training where they would make you say, it's this DEI stuff where you have to quantify your racism, because we're all racists no matter what. And apparently there was some testing or something that some of these prosecutors had to go through where they were saying white people are bad, or here's the category, it's either bad or white people. Bad or white people. So very strange. I don't know what the heck's going on down there in Fulton County, but we're going to go through it because this is just more Fani scandal, this scene. Now, what's happening is very curious as well. So 11 Alive is the local news media. And they put together this 3-minute puff piece, and they're saying Fani's under attack. This is racism, this is bigotry, this is gender bias, all the things. It's wild. So we're going to play it and see what you guys say about it. It's like we're lot of political pressure is coming up. It's like this little bubbling cauldron, and you can already predict when Fannie gets disqualified, it's going to be racism from the rooftops. So just brace yourself, especially if you're not a black male judge. You know, it's going to be problematic. So, all right, we're going to talk about all that today, my friends, and you can see it's a little spicy there in that final segment. So we'll see what's going on there with Fannie and everything else. My friends, we're grateful that you are here and joining us today. And don't forget that we have an after party as soon as the show's over here. We do members only streams in the morning and watchingthewatchers.locals.com. We do Saturday streams. We have a great community. And as soon as we're done here, we stick around and debrief some of the show at watchingthewatchers.locals.com. And this morning, we had a very fun event, a little different than our usual here. And my friend Jason Campbell come by. He is a Zen wellness master, and it was a ton of fun. We did a breathing exercise together where it feels like your lungs are going to explode, and it was just great. We reenact that little behind lizard brain in the back of your head. So we had a lot of fun with that at watcherlodge.com. We'll post the replay over there if you missed it. So come check it out, watcherlodge.com. And of course, if you want any PDFs that we're about to go through, you'll find those over at robertgovea.com. Links for all these things are in the description below, so you can grab the PDFs and access them at your leisure. We also have a newsletter there. Sign up for the newsletter. That way you get all of our segments bundled up, delivered to your inbox. And when you get it to your inbox, you can just forward it to everyone you've ever met in your entire life. Just forward all contacts and say, you have been requested to subscribe to this guy's channel. And we'd appreciate that, of course. And so check out the links in the description below, my friends. We got a lot of cool stuff cooking. And we'd love to see you somewhere else on one of those other places. Now, it's time to get into it. The Donald Trump criminal trial in New York is right around the corner, and both sides are filing their motions. Donald Trump submitted a motion in limine. This is a preliminary motion. It has a lot of stuff in it, and we'll hit some of the highlights. But the main thing that Trump is asking for is that Michael Cohen's testimony be precluded, that he be banned from testifying, because he's a convicted perjurer. Guy has a long history of lying, flip-flopping all the time, like in Congress, has a criminal conviction for it. And so why should he be allowed to testify if he's not a credible witness? Now, the way this works oftentimes is the judge will allow them to testify, and it's up to the defense to impeach their credibility and to say, aren't you a liar, though? And so we're going to have a lot of this. But what is the main takeaway is Trump is trying to frame this out, saying he should not be allowed to testify about these avenues or limited in these ranges. So we're going to see what's inside. We'll see what CNN says in response. Remind ourselves, we've got trial coming up here March 25th, 2024. We're going to be covering it as in-depth as humanly possible. We do not know yet whether they're going to have a live feed for us or not, but we're going to be here covering it, even if we have to do excerpts or translate what's happening in court review. So thanks for subscribing and joining us when that comes out. Now, this is the motion in limine, and it is from Donald Trump. And you'll notice it's a big one. It's a 47-pager, filed February 26th, as the trial is now on the docket. It's heating up. And we're going to be starting jury selection in just a few short weeks. So this is the case. The people of the state of New York, a criminal trial now, a felony, multiple felonies, against Donald Trump. This is Trump's motion in limine. It's a preliminary motion meant to define the scope of the trial. What are we going to get into? What are we not getting into? So let me share just briefly the table of contents, so you can see all the things that are inside, right? It's a big kind of omnibus motion, not separated out there, throwing a bunch of stuff in here, which is usual. But the big one we're going to be focused on is why the state of New York should be precluded from suborning Michael Cohen's perjury. Okay, why would you call this witness to the stand if you know he's a liar? We'll talk about that. Now, there's also some argument that there shouldn't be any allegations about influencing the 2016 election. This is all the Stormy Daniels hush money stuff. So the allegation is Trump, made some illegal transactions to get some paperwork that covered up this offense and so on. So they're saying the government, when they're presenting their opening arguments, when they're presenting their evidence to the jurors in New York, this is what they should be limited from doing. Preclude New York from arguing that Trump sought to improperly influence 2016, saying that there shouldn't be any arguments about any intent to defraud, saying that the court should also preclude testimony from a bunch of people, including Dino Sajudin and Karen McDougal, people we're going to learn a lot about as the trial unfolds, saying the court should preclude testimony from this guy Clifford, The court should also not allow in that Access Hollywood tape, the grab them by the purse tape. The court should also preclude the people from presenting meritless arguments about FECA, saying that the payments did not violate that, right? Some technical legal stuff. Saying the court should exclude evidence of third-party admissions. They should exclude evidence from AMI's books and records, their spreadsheets and all their back-end documents in their office. The court should also preclude evidence that Trump or his trust is an actual enterprise. Don't let in the notes from Alan Weisselberg, the CFO. And the court should also preclude any evidence about Rudy Giuliani, right? Keep him out. So there's a lot in this filing, but let's just hit some of the highlights and see what is inside as the trial heats up. So they tell the judge, and this is Judge Juan Burkan, and the case is Alvin Bragg.
He raped her.
They say, all right, dear judge, we know this judge is not a favorable judge so far. It says, all right, dear Judge Juan, Trump respectfully submits these motions. These are motions in limine, and we're seeking pre-trial rules about improper arguments and inadmissible evidence that Bragg.
You're a Trump cuck then?
In this trial.
You cucked for Trump?
Is to bolster their listless zombie case. And their unsuccessful efforts to interfere with Trump in 2024. So it sounds like Bragg is trying to shove a bunch of stuff into this case that does not matter. It's not relevant to the underlying issue. And specifically, Trump is seeking rulings on the
Oops, wrong chat.
says Michael Cohen should not be allowed to testify. They're going to be bringing out additional perjury.
MCC went live earlier.
Any of this election influence
Really wasn't
stuff
much,
should
but he
be-
was just kind of updating
should
us.
be allowed to argue that Trump sought to
A couple
improperly
things.
influence 2016 because there was nothing untoward or irregular, and there was certainly nothing criminal about his winning a candidacy.
Did you see his newer video with that redheaded dude that flashed the badge at him and shit?
Proper intent to defraud arguments. Saying Bragg should also be precluded from arguing this because
From Monday?
Trump intended to win 2016,
Tuesday?
and he won it well
Tuesday.
within the established norms. So that's not intent to defraud. Talking about bootstrapping and other inadmissible evidence. You see, they give us a nice summary of it all. But let's get into the conversation about Michael Cohen here. And Trump's team, not playing around with their first sentence, why would they? They say, first of all, Your Honor, let me clear about this. Michael Cohen is a liar. Period. Very simple. Direct and to the point. A+.
Well, anyway, apparently the guy was flashing a badge when they were recording,
He recently committed perjury on the stand.
and they called the Oakland County Sheriff's Department to find out if that guy was actually a cop, and he's not. He was given like a commemorative badge because he was on some committee, and it was so he could make it into these committee meetings as a special badge. It said on it, I guess. And apparently they're driving out to his house to take it away from him because he was flashing it like he was a cop on MCC and frickin' media.
That's the minor stuff. To the very serious and the consequential perjury that was committed in New York versus Donald Trump in a 2022 case. Now, even before his federal sentencing for lying that occurred in 2019, Michael Cohen began to, quote, minimize the seriousness of his decision not to report millions of dollars of income over a period of years by blaming his accountant for not uncovering the reported income. There's millions of dollars that my accountant's screwing up. Yeah, right. And then we get a big bunch of redactions, which are Michael Cohen's a liar and a loser, and a bunch of other loser things. Now, in 2019 December, less than 1 year into his third,
I'm like, they should have charged him
for federal crimes, including tax evasion, crime of dishonesty, and moral turpitude, and lying to Congress. Cohen then sought a sentence reduction. Yeah, and prosecutors in the Southern District of New York, they opposed that motion. The prosecutors from New York, where we're at right now in a different court, this is federal court, they opposed that. They informed Judge Pauley. They said no. We had substantial concerns about Cohen and his credibility as a witness. Okay, dude's a liar, based in part on lies that he told during proffers that included material false statements, like lying to the court, violations of federal law in January and February of 2019. Now, the federal prosecutors, we're talking about Michael Cohen, they also expressed concern about apparent contradictions between Cohen's post-sentencing congressional testimony and his guilty pleas and certain filings in the Southern District of New York case. So in other words, the dude has already been sentenced and convicted, and he's still lying. Okay, so they're still talking to him post-sentencing, lying in his guilty pleas, lying in other filings, and a litany of other public comments made by Cohen and his surrogates concerning his federal case, many of which, right, he's on podcasts, he's like BFFs with Jen Psaki now. They're having conversations, and he's like, well, I had to take it, I had to do this, I never made that, right? It's all he's a victim constantly. Many of which minimized his acceptance of responsibility and were inconsistent with his guilty pleas and other undisputed facts. And remember that Cohen also used Bard, ChatGPT, to fictionalize case law and submit that to the court in another case. I think it may have even been this case that we're talking about here. And yeah, you know, that's just Cohen's status for you. Now, they say last fall in New York versus Trump, Michael Cohen committed perjury. Again, he testified that he was not guilty of the federal tax evasion charges to which he pleaded guilty to. So he lied on the stand. And that he lied to U.S. District Judge William H. Pauley III during his sworn plea allocution in 2018. Lied again. Now, this included the following sworn testimony regarding his guilty plea. So, in other words, he says, right, I actually was not guilty. And so when I took a guilty plea, when I pleaded guilty, part of what you do in a guilty plea is you say, yes, I'm guilty. So the crime is, whatever it is, tax evasion, perjury. How do you plead? Guilty. And then you have what's called a factual basis, a conversation about what happened. I, Michael Cohen, on this date and time in this location, yes, I committed this crime because I did the following. I lied to Congress. What I said was not true. And the attorney will say that, the prosecutor will say that, the judge will sometimes say that, confirm that. Is that true? Yes, it is. Okay, great. I find there's a factual basis for your guilty plea. So I can accept that. Because if somebody says, I plead guilty, and then they lay out the factual basis for the reason you're pleading guilty, and you say, no, that never happened, well, the judge is not going to accept your plea. So this included the following sworn testimony regarding his plea. Question. Have you ever made any public statements concerning the legitimacy of your convictions? More than one. And why did you do that? Because there was no tax evasion. Now, at best, it could be characterized as tax omission. I have never in my life not paid taxes, says Cohen. I have never requested an extension until 2017. Every year I have paid. No extensions on time. What my CPA accountant, I paid what my CPA accountant directed me to pay. Wow. Oh, well.
Hey, so man, I didn't even see you there, bud.
That was the question to him. And the response at another part of the transcript was, okay, so did you lie then to Judge Pauley when you said that you were guilty of the counts that you said under oath that you were guilty of? Did you lie to Judge Pauley?
I didn't even know Bob was live.
Wow. So, sir, you lied at the time.
I watched him eat Lepo.
Once in federal court. Is that correct? Correct. So when the stakes affected you personally, you lied, right? Correct. And you also misled a federal judge. Is that true? Yes, I did. Well, so Cohen is just lying all the time, right? So he lied about
I gotta work.
Being guilty of lying.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to go live or not. So see how many new people are supposed to start. I don't even know if I have any.
In other words, they brought him to the stand and he's just lying. Again, when he falsely testified that he refused a motion pursuant to the rules from the U.S. Attorney. Michael Cohen. Question.
I probably will, because I want to test out this new phone and see how long the battery lasts on it.
With your guilty pleas? He says, yeah, I did cooperate with the government.
And plus, I forgot my body camera because I had to charge it after that class yesterday, so I got to have something going on recording.
From the federal government, did you?
We'll have some fun.
Like confirming that? No,
I might be down for some poker tonight, too.
Okay. Well, they say that's not anything that happened, okay? There was no such motion. There was no agreement to make a motion. Nothing was ever extended to Cohen. Federal prosecutors have also taken the position that Cohen lied under oath. So simply put, okay, Judge Juan, the federal government acknowledged what the people
tonight,
in New
I don't
York
know,
would brag okay, will
I'm not. Yeah, I think I'd be willing to do it. I got to do it. I got to wait till my strike is done though. I think I still got like 8 days left. I'll have to check studio.
They say he's lying to us.
But yeah, I don't mind having a strike.
SDNY's opposition. Okay, so when Cohen was saying, "Can I please terminate my probation early?" they said, "No, dude, you're a liar. Get out of here." And there's multiple citations.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
I'm down.
This guy's a dirtbag, not credible.
For sure.
Just like the rest of the prosecution.
You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck.
Bragg's like, he's my guy. He's my go-to. Let's go get it. So they say, Your Honor.
Who did it?
These prosecutors, okay, the people, which offends
all these. Look at all these cars going. They literally just put the actual no turn.
The government, Alvin Bragg.
Yeah, I'd like to watch it.
Of the court, right? They're
It actually says no turn on red. People do it all the time. That sign wasn't there before. It was just the arrow.
Sacred obligation to call only witnesses who were supposed to be truthful.
So, I've been pissing people off.
Above, federal prosecutors in this
and waiting on the light.
Have taken the position that Cohen,
even though it's actually pretty stupid,
lied under oath in a court proceeding, and he's going to be their star witness.
Well, if nobody's coming, you should be able to go.
Cohen has also admitted to lying in court. A lie is a lie, no matter what its subject. And if it is in any way relevant to the case, the DA has the responsibility and the duty to correct what he knows to be false and to...
Oh, is this about that cop?
In response, they say here, perjury...
And all the money they spent on his memorial service and shit? Or is this something different?
Impact the jury. Now, in response, Cohen's own attorney...
I haven't seen Chopper online in a while. I just sent him a message.
...his false and sworn words.
Ooh,
he
glass.
suggested that Cohen...
I just sent him a message. Claiborne wanted me to give him his phone number, so...
...basis of his guilty plea. That's not what we just...
So I sent Chopper, Claiborne...
You lied to a federal
CCT's
court, correct?
phone number.
So you lied. Okay, I admitted it. Yeah, I'm not guilty of what I said I was guilty for. I lied to the judge. Okay. His lawyer's like, nice try.
Mitty was on today?
The DA, Alvin, is the representative...
Is that today? Or you mean when he went live, when he was doing his cop watches? Or his drone thing? There's a spot right in front of the place. I'm going to grab. There's never any spots over there. Name of this place now, they changed the name to it. It's Red's Irish Goodbye. It's actually pretty cool. You know what an Irish goodbye is? They renamed it when they just... A BJ? No. An Irish goodbye is... When you're at a place and you get so drunk that you're too embarrassed to walk around the place to say goodbye to everybody because you're so drunk and you just leave without saying anything. Yeah, you just take off. I'm like, damn, I do that without being drunk. I'm like, I want to go home now, and I just leave. Parties and everything. And people just call me like, where the fuck you go? I'm like, I was tired, I went home. You didn't say goodbye. Well, you were busy. I hate goodbyes. So I just left. Oklahoma. Oh. Oklahoma just reposted my stream from earlier on X. Yeah, buddy. Much better camera, huh? That's my new work phone, my iPhone. So I think it's a 14. But it's a lot better than that piece of crap SE I had. Plus it had a broken screen on it. I don't know how that happened. Alright guys, I probably will go live. I need to play around with this new phone. I'll probably put it on the stand and see how well it works. Twerk phone. Yeah. Yeah, I will. I would not, for myself, I would never buy an iPhone, but All right, guys. So I'll see you later. 8:30ish, 8:30ish. I should be going live again, and we'll see you then. Peace.